The most difficult part of amphibious warfare is how to safely and efficiently transport combat personnel and supplies to the landing site. Before World War II, amphibious warfare could only rely on small boats, which were not only inefficient but also had a low success rate, making it almost impossible to land on enemy-defended beaches. However, everything changed during World War II with the appearance of the new type of amphibious landing vehicle, which provided basic combat support for landing soldiers. The American LVT series landing vehicles were highly successful equipment. The United States began research on this front before World War II, and engineer Donald Roebling designed a tracked amphibious vehicle in 1935, which, with some modifications, developed into the LVT-1 amphibious landing vehicle, nicknamed the Alligator. The U.S. military began ordering the first batch of LVT-1 in 1941. The vehicle weighed 14 tons and had a boat-shaped hull. The track structure was somewhat similar to a top-running track, with thin steel boxes between the upper and lower tracks to increase water buoyancy. The tracks also had steel plates for water propulsion, which would cause significant damage to the ground if used on land. During amphibious operations, the vehicle could transport 25 soldiers or about 2 tons of cargo at a time. The early LVT-1 did not have any weapons, but later, machine gun mounts were added, which could accommodate Browning heavy machine guns and 7.62 mm machine guns. It had a maximum water speed of 10 km per hour and a maximum land speed of 19 km per hour. The U.S. military used the LVT-1 in the Pacific Theater and established a dedicated amphibious transport battalion to transport supplies for landing forces. Although the vehicle had made significant progress, its water maneuverability and armor protection were poor, and its survival rate in intense combat situations was worrying. Shortly after the introduction of the LVT-1, work began on its modification and upgrade, mainly to improve its reliability and performance. The new amphibious landing vehicle improved the vehicle structure and tracks, increased the length of the vehicle for greater stability on the water, and increased buoyancy. However, the weight of the vehicle also increased by 1.6 tons. It had a track structure with torsion bar suspension with some flexibility, as opposed to the rigid suspension of the LVT-1. The water propulsion plates were changed to a M shape, increasing water propulsion efficiency. It was equipped with a Browning M2 heavy machine gun and could also be fitted with a 7.62 mm machine gun, 37 mm cannon, or a flamethrower. It had a maximum water speed of 12 km per hour and a maximum land speed of 32 km per hour. The new landing vehicle, nicknamed the Buffalo, including its armored reinforcement model, produced a total of 3,412 vehicles and was an important landing equipment in the Pacific Theater. It is worth noting that the first Chinese amphibious armored regiment was equipped with them. The LVT-3 was an improvement on the LVT-2, nicknamed the Big Snake, and it used many components from the M3 light tank. The engine was moved into side-mounted float boxes, and a ramp-style tailgate was added to the rear. The vehicle had a maximum combat weight of 17.5 tons and could transport approximately 30 fully armed soldiers, with an increased cargo capacity of about 4 tons. It was equipped with 2 Browning M2 heavy machine guns. This type of vehicle was first used and served as the main force in the Battle of Okinawa in 1945, with higher combat efficiency and a total production of nearly 3,000 vehicles. The LVT-4 was another variant of the LVT-2 and had the largest production volume in the series, with as many as 8,351 vehicles, and was also the most versatile in terms of functionality. The engine was moved to the front of the vehicle, providing more interior space. In addition to normal transport of 30 soldiers, it could also directly transport jeeps or small-caliber anti-tank guns. Its weapon equipment included 2 Browning M2 heavy machine guns at the front, and each side could be equipped with a 7.62 mm machine gun. It could also be equipped with a turret for the M8 self-propelled gun, with the main weapon being a 75 mm short-barreled howitzer. Like the previous three models, it was initially produced in a non-armored version, and later, a reinforced version with 6.5 mm armor plates was installed. It was used not only in the Pacific Theater but also in the Normandy landings and the Battle of the Rhine, and continued to be in service after World War II.